Hi everyone, welcome to another video. As you can see, I did put on my base makeup. I am wearing foundation, concealer. I did wear liquid concealer today because my eyes are very dry, so my under eye bags are not quite as well covered, but at least I look a little bit less dead. And then I did already put on my eyebrows and my eye primer, and for my contour I did use the Flower Nose Chocolate Wonder Shop face palette. The reason I decided to use this today is because I'm going to be taking this video as a chance to use the new Violet Strawberry Rococo collection extension. This is limited edition. I did buy this myself. I'm very excited to use this. When I first saw them tease a new collection, I was like, oh, that's kind of bad timing because I'm not financially prepared for this, but then it was revealed that it's just a capsule collection. It's just an extension of the Strawberry Rococo, which is one of my favorite collections they've ever done because strawberries are my favorite food. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit more manageable. I got 2 of the lip shades, and then I got both blushes, which are right here, and I also of course got the eyeshadow palette, which is right here. And it did come with a really cute mirror as well. I haven't taken off the film because I have so many mirrors at this point, but it did also, I got this as a gift with purchase. Now, I have mentioned before that Chinese beauty eyeshadows can be a little bit on the dry side. So I'm wearing the Suku eye primer today in hopes of making sure my eyelids are properly prepped. So here is the inside of the palette. It is very, very beautiful. Now, I personally find Flower Nose eyeshadows, they are on the whole not bad, but they can be hit or miss, especially when the shades get very dark. I find that their dark shimmers tend to look patchy and don't wear super well, and their dark mattes can sometimes also be a little bit patchy. So that's kind of my personal opinion. My honest personal opinion is that Chinese beauty shadows, they sometimes are a little bit but I think Flower Nose is honestly pretty solid overall. So if you're ever getting palettes from them, I'd say stick to like their neutrals and their pastels. You're probably good to go. But like I've tried, like for example, the dark blue in one of their mermaid palettes, the dark blue shimmer ended up being a little bit disappointing, and I had the same experience with a Shall We makeup shadow. So it seems to just be kind of a common issue with Chinese eyeshadows overall. And you know, I think over time with Chinese beauty becoming more and more popular, I think we will start to see formula improvements, kind of the same way that we saw formula improvements in the Western indie market. So just give it some time. So I'm going to be using the palette to make a purple look. With both of these shimmers being lighter colored, I think it is going to look absolutely beautiful. Flower Nose definitely excels when it comes to making these lighter toned sparkly shimmers. They are some of the best on the market. So I'm gonna first start off with the middle shade, which is a very, very purple toned pink. And I definitely do think that it would have been better for me to use an eye primer with a white tint to it, but I don't actually have one that is hydrating at the moment. And it's gonna stick down onto my Suku primer because I didn't set it, but I will do blending and touch-ups later. Right now I'm just trying to make sure the eyeshadow sticks down. And then I'm going to use the more pink shade here. Next, I'm going to go into the darker desaturated purple here. And this is a very blue-based purple. I would say this is a pretty unique shade of purple. I've really only ever seen this purple in like a Blend Bunny palette. These shadows are very, very, very powdery, which is a very common thing with Asian shadows. And then I'm going to use that middle pale cool pink across the top of the entire look. But I don't really want it to go like super far up, so I'm going to try and keep it tighter to the purple. Yeah, I think I accidentally took it up a little too far, but that's okay. And then I'm going to use a smaller brush to deepen up the purple. I'm just kind of going to start going back and forth between all 3 of the mattes, and then I'll use the shimmers last. And now I'll try and repeat this on the other eye. Yeah, I was a little bit better on this eye just because I kind of knew what I was doing. I have a lot of bumps on this eye, you can see, so it makes the eyeshadow look a little bit rough. Okay, so now for the lower lash line. It's not really sticking to my lower lash line as well. I didn't put any primer on my lower lash line though, so that would probably explain why. You can see how I'm not able to get it quite as dark on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to use the bright pink. So that's what it's looking like so far. You can see how I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the purple to look super even. I'm gonna try and take it on like a more fluffy diffuse brush and see if I can improve it a little bit. It also has a very high chance of going completely wrong, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I do think that looks a little bit better now. It's hard to tell if it's like patchy shadow or not just because of like all of the bumps and breakouts in texture that are on my eyelids right now, which I'm working on. Okay, so next, since my eyelids have been quite mattified, I am going to go in with a glitter glue. It is going to lift some of the eyeshadow underneath just because it's, you know, I'm applying a cream consistency product on top of powder. Presumably the shimmer is going on top and will hide all of that. Glitter glue is on. So now for the fun part, I'm going to go into these beautiful shimmers. I'm going to go in with this larger brush because I do want to apply it in a larger area. So I'm going to first take the pink shade, just right here, just because I have mostly pink on the middle of my eyelid. And I'm going to just start stamping this down. And I left a pretty significantly large blank space, so usually flower nose shimmers are meant for targeted, precise application for a precise glitter effect where you want it, but I'm gonna apply it more as if it's a Western shimmer and apply it in a larger area. So I recognize this is not like the accepted use case of this shimmer, but I also don't really care. So this is meant to look at its best when the particles are nice and dispersed. So you'll notice applying it more thickly, it's gonna change how it looks. Still really pretty though. And these are kind of loosely pressed and they do have a lot of like a flakiness to them, so that's why I do highly recommend a glitter glue unless you're doing very spot targeted application. And then I'm going to go in with my finger. You can see it's just so pretty, and I'm going to stamp it down. And then I'm going to take the lavender, and this time I am going to definitely use a brush, and I'm going to take it on the inner corner. I'm gonna have to blend it into the other shimmers more for sure. I also want this to go on the lower lash line. Since I do have a lot of purple on the lower lash line, it'll work well. Sometimes these Chinese shimmers, they lay down, they look so pretty, but they sometimes are prone to fading really quickly. And I consider my wear tests to be like easy mode for the eyeshadow, so if the eyeshadow can't survive me wear testing it, then I definitely let you guys know, because that would mean that it can't even wear well, period. If it wears well for me, that is no guarantee it'll wear well for you, because bear in mind, I spend a lot of time at home. Just because I say it wears well for me does not mean it'll wear well for you if you have a physical job, if you're out a lot, if you're a parent. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my finger now and take more of this shade, and I'm going to start blending it into the pink and taking it up and over. I actually think I should have reversed these two now that I think about it, but I'm blending them into each other really, really well. They blend into each other so well. They look really pretty on top of each other. These shimmers, generally speaking, are also a much more dry formula, so there's not much moisture or oil to them. So again, if you wear them as a more dispersed sparkly topper, you're gonna have really great wear time. There's not gonna be creasing because it's not like you put on a whole thick layer, but it's when you start putting on thick layers that I feel like these get a little bit more prone to creasing. But again, they weren't designed to be worn as a thick opaque layer because shimmers in China are predominantly used very sparingly, very precisely, and you're not getting like molten metals over there unless you're like in, obviously certain pockets of the community have certain preferences, but by and large mainstream social media, it's not going for like molten opaque application like what I did. So if the shadow creases with me applying this much to it, that doesn't necessarily mean the shadow is bad for the market that it was designed for. The mattes are good, they're not the greatest, and that's kind of just my general experience with Flower Nose mattes. Aside from their neutrals, their colorful mattes tend to be good but not great, and they definitely don't really compare to like Blend Bunny or anything like that, but I think they're good for what they are, and these are some pretty unique tones, and having it all encapsulated in this one little 5 pan makes it so that this could be, for example, a really great additional partner palette for you to gain access to these unique tones. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the blush now. I did not powder my face because my foundation was looking pretty matte. We'll move on to the blush, and I'll do my lashes like last thing before I wrap up this video because I'm gonna do that obviously off camera. And I'm hoping to have a way to use them both. They're pretty analogous. It's a violet themed collection, but these are less violet and more just extremely cool blue toned pinks. Here's what they look like. You can tell these just are very, very cool pinks. I think these are definitely a lot better because being more vivid, they are going to show up on way more skin tones. So I think this was a good choice. So I'm going to just use the blush brush that is part of their collection. These are honestly really good. The website says they're synthetic, but for the longest time, at least with their initial brushes, I'm 90% sure their initial brushes were natural. If they say they're synthetic now, then I guess they're synthetic, but I remember them being natural at one point. I don't know. Either way, they are really, really nice, and I do quite like them. They're just the perfect brushes for getting like super diffuse application of blush. As you can see here, I have a whole bunch. Flower Nose is very generous with gifts with purchase, and it is not hard at all to reach the spending threshold where they throw in brushes for free. So practically every time I order from them, I get anywhere from 1 to 3 blush brushes just straight up for free. So I've just at this point amassed such a collection of them, but I really like having them. Like, I like having all of these because it means I can go through more colors before I have to wash them. So I am going to start off, I think, with this shade. I'm going to use this shade closer to my contour, and I really like how you just get the perfect amount of pigment. This is the Flower Nose Cherry Love mirror. I like it because it's small, so I can use it and it won't get in the way of the camera as much. Again, like with many other Asian blush formulations, these are matte. So if you already have a lot of powder products on your face is already powdered down, you may find that it has trouble sticking. But alternatively, if you're like me and you don't usually powder your face before going for cheek products, you will find this to still be pretty easy to blend. There are most matte blushes, if you don't set your face and you have a super, super dewy base, you will find that the blush sticks. That's literally just how, that's how, like, product consistency works. But this one, it's so matte, and you can pick up such a small amount with these brushes that you can avoid that problem, which is nice. So I'm gonna really mostly focus this on the back of my face. I don't have like a shade of blush that is quite this like between pink and purple. I don't generally go for them because I feel like, for example, Lavender Blonde from House Labs, I skipped. I kind of felt FOMO because it's limited and it's gone now, but I would have literally never used it because it's just not the shade of purple that I would have gone for. It was a much more inclusive take on a lavender blush, but it would not have looked good on me. So I skipped that, and this is a lot more pink than that and not quite as dark. See, my biggest problem when you get blushes that are like pinky purple is that I feel like it looks a little bit ashy, but it could also just be mixing with my contour. Okay, and now I'm gonna go into the shade 01. This is Romantic Blossom. So the other shade was 02, which is Little Cranberry. I'm just gonna use the same brush so you can see it is more vivid, kind of closer to the front of my face. I'm not gonna bring the blush all the way to my nose just because I have so much on, and I'm gonna focus on keeping it wrapped to the side of my face. And I do really like the Flower Nose blush formula. Some of their earlier ones, like the unicorn ones, were all so light that they basically don't show up on anyone. I use those to blend out other blush colors, but their later collections, their blushes have been a little bit more dark, which is great. And I know for their recent Angel collection, which I do still intend on doing videos on, I'm so late, I know, they actually changed the colors for the global release. They made the global release colors a little bit darker than the Chinese colors. Okay, so that is a heck of a lot of blush, but don't worry. I am probably going to use some setting powder later, and when I do that, the blush will be a little bit more normal looking. But also, it's me. Like, this is what you come for. You come to my channel to see a truck ton of blush. So next, for highlighter, I'm going to stick within Flower Nose. And I am going to go for, I think I'm going to go for this shade just because it's more blue, but it'll match with the cool tones. This is Moon River. This is their newest little Angel highlighter formula. And as you can see with how matte my cheeks are from the blush, not very much is sticking. If I wanted to remedy this, I usually do setting spray first, but I forgot. It's actually pulling very purple on top of the blush. Do you see how it's actually looking more purple than blue? But yeah, I know Tara Babies says that she uses a highlighter stick as a base for her highlighter and then she puts on highlighter. I've considered that, but the only highlighter stick that I really see that seems to not suck, and the one coincidentally that she likes, is the ABH one. I'm not currently buying from ABH. Maybe if it goes half off I could be tempted, but I don't know. It's not for lack of trying. They've been having a lot of releases that have really just been taunting the heck out of me. Like, I want to buy from them so badly. A lot of their newest products are just so fascinating, but I just haven't had it in me yet to buy from them. And then I am going to take a little bit and highlight my brow. This will also help detract from some of the purple, emphasizing my little spots, so it'll kind of hide that a little bit. And that is the shade LO4 Moon River. I like Flower Nose. I like how far they've come. I don't think they're like the best, like, I don't think their eyeshadows are the best eyeshadows ever. I don't think their blushes are the best blushes ever, but like the concepts, the packaging, the color arrangements, the color selections, and particularly with blush, the shades of blush they choose, all kind of come together to make them a very unique brand that I think is really fun. I don't think their products are trying to take makeup super seriously, like, oh, these are pro-grade products that are the best ever. It's like, you know, it's like the quality, it's not the best in the world. It's not like stellar, aside from a few of their products that are legit, like pretty much any of their setting powders are among the best matte setting powders I've ever tried. But most of their color products, you know, if you want to go strictly formula-wise, you can technically find better, especially for the price. But, you know, we all know that we're buying into this brand partially just because we love how we feel when we use the packaging, when we see the aesthetic. It makes us feel dreamy, it makes us feel cute and beautiful, and it just transports us to like a different kind of feeling, a vibe, and an aesthetic that we really love. And I feel like that is kind of the whole point of Flower Nose, is to do that. And the founders of the brand, two cosplayers, the one who does most of the creative design, he really is so creative. This is just his passion. This is what he loves to do, is designing beautiful makeup concepts. And I feel like you can really tell how much passion he puts into each and every collection that they put out together. So honestly, I'm happy seeing how big they've grown. They're actually almost about to hit 1 million followers on Instagram. I think they're really, really cool. And I know I say that not because they're the best ever quality-wise. It's just that they check a lot of boxes that together it's kind of uncommon to find a brand that does that. So if you're looking for like a palette like this that's like really good quality, then definitely indie singles you can find similar to these, and then Blend Bunny for the mattes, you know. But if you want it to be like a condensed quint with really adorable strawberry packaging that makes you feel like a rococo princess every time you open it, then Flower Nose is definitely going to be the only one who can do that. So yeah, I know, long ramble, but I just kind of wanted to explain. I don't want to sound like I'm kissing up to them. I do genuinely like them, but I am very aware of why I like them. And so I just wanted to kind of, hopefully I was able to convey to you guys as well why I like them. And while at the same time being honest about actual product performance for those of you who really want to make sure that a product is practical and usable. I had just sharpened this. It's so satisfying using a newly sharpened lip liner. Okay, so I lined my lips. I just lined my lips with a lip liner that is a similar shade to my lips, but it's a little bit warm, but it's fine. I don't know. I guess I should have used the pink Buxom one, but I wasn't thinking. I also need to sharpen that one. So I have 2 lip shades. I'm probably just gonna pick one. Now that I have it, I got these from the global website, not from Taobao. So I got these because I figured with the free global shipping and the easier time of buying it, not having to deal with supervised shipping, and with it being such a small collection, I was like, I'm just gonna get it from the global site. So I actually have the packaging in English for once, and these are called the Strawberry Rococo Series Glowy Lip Gloss. So these are gonna be dewy glosses, dewy tints, whatever you want to call them. And I have it in the shade Raspberry Booze and Blackberry Jam. I've never seen a makeup brand use the word booze in a shade name before. That is a very Chinese translating to English thing to do though. Alright, so here is Blackberry Jam. Looks like this. That could work for today. I don't think I'm going to be able to use both though, unless one of them is substantially darker than the other. And then here is Raspberry Booze. Okay, this is a little bit more of a warm rose, so I'm not going to be able to use this today. It's not going to match. So I'm going to go in with Blackberry Jam. There were more shades available in this. I would have loved to get them all. Getting on the Flower Nose PR list would definitely be a dream come true, but I don't want to do it lying through my teeth about this brand. Okay, I'm gonna use this shade. And just FYI, I've actually have very limited experience with Flower Nose's lip products because generally speaking, they're the last on my priority list to get. First off, I have a lot of lip products already, so whenever I'm looking at other lip products from other brands, I'm generally looking for shades I don't have yet. So that's why I finally did buy these, was because these are some pretty interesting shades. Not sticky at all, which is what I would expect from an Asian dewy tint. It feels really, really hydrating. It feels almost like a liquid balm, more so than a gloss. Really, really hydrating. And it is, as you can see, the first layer I would say is about a medium, high medium pigmentation coverage. And if I use a layer 2, I'm getting nearly opaque coverage. So you can use this on its own. I'm gonna kind of gradate it outwards so that it's most intense closer to the center of my lips. And then I'm gonna use the doe foot now to just blend out the edges and wipe off any excess. And these are like super cute. Like I've got a couple of these at this point. So from the Strawberry Rococo collection, because these were matte, I only got one. I was like, okay, I really want one so I can display it on my vanity, so I'm gonna let myself just pick one. So I have just one of the matte ones, and you can see that the packaging matches, but you can see that like the packaging is much lighter. I also have 3 of their balms. These are like their balm sticks. These are very similar to the Roman Glasting balms. And then I also do have these 2 matte lipsticks from the Angel collection. I chose the brownier shades because I definitely don't have brown lipsticks in my collection. These are okay. I can see how this formula is very much love it or hate it, and I'm kind of a... they're alright. I definitely think as far as matte lipsticks go, I've seen better. They're not bad. I forgive it because the color is very unique, but definitely I think this lip product is one of the least good ones I've seen from them in recent times. I also have this lipstick I got from them purely just because it has cats on it, so I just like looking at it because it's so cute. There's cats. And then I have these 3 lip products that I got as gifts with purchase from my Taobao orders. Their Taobao site is, they literally just like jam my orders so full of gift with purchase. So I got these 3 for free. So I have 2 of the chocolate shades, and then I have 1 of the cherry shades. And I just love having them. They're so cute. Even if I don't use them that often, I just love looking at them on my vanity. They're so cute to display. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off camera and put on my mascara. I'm hoping I can just do it with just mascara today to be in the spirit of the Chinese makeup. So I'll be back in a few minutes, but you'll see me in like a few seconds to wrap up this video. Here is my finished look. As you can see, I just did mascara. I really tried to get my lashes to be curled up nice and high. I have been using this new eyelash curler that I got from YesStyle. It is a Shiseido lash curler, but from Shiseido Japan, and I've been having really great luck with this. And the good thing is that this is also like under 10 bucks on YesStyle, so that's nice. So I've been testing this, and I think my lashes are looking far more well curled today. Of course, you can see I'm not blessed in the lash department, but at least they're visible, right? I took the Victoria Beckham Kajal liner in Ash. I just sharpened it so it's nice and pointy, and I took it on the inner corners, and then I took it right on the outer corner. And then because I have to really curl my lashes when I wear mascara, it can reveal my upper waterline. So you can see I took a little bit of it just right on the outer corner of my upper waterline. and that will help to hide that and make my eyes look more sharp and defined. I did use a little bit of setting powder at the end, so you can see my face is a little bit more mattified, my texture is blurred, and I did brighten up my complexion a little bit because I used my Suku lavender powder. This is my favorite lavender powder I've ever used, and it's one of my favorite powders in my collection, so I used this all over my face today. But other than that, no additional products. That is everything. Everything else is, you know, aside from the foundation and the concealer, obviously, it's all Flower Nose. I hope you guys really like this purple look. This palette actually, the Quint actually went darker than I expected. Look, because you know the promo photos tend to be so dreamy and washed out. I thought it would just be another pastel palette, but the purple actually does add a surprising amount of depth and variety to this palette, so you really can get a wide variety of looks, and I think that's really fun. So if you want this collection, I don't think you'll be terribly disappointed. As I said, the quality for Flower Nose can be hit or miss. Generally speaking, I'd say their quality is average, better than average, pretty good, but not the best. So yeah, one of my favorite brands. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I do have an affiliate code with Flower Nose. It gets you 5% off, and if you use it, I get commission. So please use it if you're gonna buy from Flower Nose and support my channel and support me. But yeah, if you have any more questions about Flower Nose, or if you have any other comments you'd like to leave me, definitely let me know. I am going to sign off now and call this video done, so I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.